placed on the P1 on the start boat. We wait for that to turn green and then they'll be away, and everybody's watching that yellow flag. Everybody's waiting, and the race director just waiting for everybody to be in the right line, and there is the green flag. We're away, and fantastic sights here in the Solent as they get away, and the acceleration of the King of Shaves.
Look at that, he's actually squashing, he's moving over and he's squashing OSG out of the line. Everyone's fighting for that line for the first mark.
And that is the view from OSG, from that Donsey boat, and on the left-hand side of that, remember, Fameplast was there, but he's now skipping over to the other side and straight through the wash.
The visibility is so hard at this point. In no starts, you've got massive roosters out the back of those boats. If you think about it, the poor Super Sport class is actually behind those Evolution boats, so it's actually chaos.
And Lucas Oil's Outer Limits is through on the other side. That's the view on board in the Fameplast boat. A three-man crew there, and they're right in the middle of this lead battle as we go into the first of the short laps. And certainly it is King of Shaves. No surprise to find them streaking away. Wet Punked in second as they start to go around the buoy, OSG. And
and Wet Punk's put in right dirty water there. On board with the Lucas Oil's Outer Limits. Look at the visibility they've got.
There's nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing you can see through those washers.
Well, once again, the King of Shaves making the early running. We've got nothing to suspect that they weren't going to do this again. And their first time on British waters, and the view from the front as he goes so close to the marker buoys. James's trademark, really, Shelley, that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, although this boat is the first time in these waters, it's not the first time for James Shepherd. He's raced around the Isle of Wight many times, so he knows what he's doing.
But this year was the first time that he's raced with his race partner, Craig Wilson, and they've just gone on like a house on fire. And look at this going on here. OSG in very, very tricky water there.
Completely showered by Wet Punk there, but that's the aim of the game there.
Class as we go back to second overall in the Evolutions, and wetpunk.com have been working hard on this boat. They had blown turbo at the last round in Germany, and we go on board inside them, and they're still working away trying to do something with this diesel boat to get more and more potential out of it.
Here we have extremeboat.com, who are actually running in second place at the moment, behind voomvoom.com, Team Hustler. Jackie will not be happy with that. She will be trying to wind that space up there, but how fantastic for Team Hustler to be in the lead.
Yeah, and a real surprise as well. They have done so much work on that boat. But the big concern for Extreme Boat was how their boat was going to be reliable this weekend, and they'd also got props that they weren't happy with. And here's Sunseeker, big weekend for them.
They've got loads of hospitality here this week, safely pulled off the racing line there. They're looking at their gauges. Something is obviously very wrong with the engines. They will not be happy.
Well, what a disappointment that will be. But on the other side of things, it's now good news for Lucas Oil's Outer Limits, who move up to take that third place as they continue on, still trying to take that elusive win they've been working so hard for this year in their debut year of the Powerboat P1 World Championship. And I think that is the end of the day for Wet Punked.
Yeah, but Ed Williams Hawks here, pointing to the engines. He's not happy, scratching his head. And no, game over, I'm afraid, boys.
Meanwhile, the King of Shaves, Craig Wilson and James Shepherds are just nailing it in the true fashion that we've come to know from them. And they're now catching the Super Sport boats. Oh, there is Reggie Fountain watching on. And so lapping the Super Sport class now as we see voomvoom.com, Egan J and Charles William Hawks. What a great day for them.
Look at the lead they've got. That is absolutely fantastic. They will be so pleased with this performance. They have worked very hard over the last few weeks and done a lot of development on that boat.
And Martin Lai and the Maltese crew in the 46 Cauldron 2 boats, and they're going well. Martin Lai's been racing well the last couple of rounds. As King of Shaves, once again, we see, and just perfect racing from them again. They weren't sure what to expect here at Cowes, but it's certainly going in their favour. And there's Joe Scrow and Nigel Hook, which are actually racing together for the first time. They've never done that pairing here.
They're obviously doing very well. They'll be hot on the tails of Fountain Worldwide, King of Shaves.
And OSG still pushing on, all sorts of dramas for them in Naples, which they got over at Germany. got the boat back rebuilt, and it seems to be going pretty well today. And Lucas Oil's making up ground now. So obviously they didn't get the best of starts, but slowly but surely they're picking their way through. But also there's a long way to go in this race. Still a long way to go around the Isle of Wight, which we're doing now. And Lucas Oil's definitely starting to catch King of Shaves, which is an even bigger surprise for me this weekend.
Look at the conditions though, they are absolutely mirror flat.
And Lucas Oil's alongside King of Shaves, and what is going to happen now?
Absolutely neck and neck. What a fantastic picture. And that is very close racing. You think the speeds that these boats are doing, there is not much distance between them with that.
And the noise out there, I can tell you, will be, amazing. And problems for the 46 boats, and Aaron and Audrienne are retiring from this race. But meanwhile, Vegan J and Charles William Hawkes in the Hostler-built VoomVoom.com, it is going absolutely perfectly. At the moment, it's like Christmas Day for them. And they have finally got the performance they knew they had in that boat. And there's ExtremeBoat.com in second place. And I think Jackie and Mike will be just pleased that they have got this far and seem to be in the hunt still.
On board with Jackie Hunt and Mike Shelton. Now look at Mike, arm on the side there, but he's religiously watching that stopwatch.
If anybody's a stickler for time and speed, it is certainly Mike. I know he gives Jackie a hard time about it. And just listen to that, Shelley.
You can actually hear he's actually on the rev limiter there. These engines are under so much stress in these flat conditions.
Two V10 engines, shall we say, the Ilmor Viper engines, which are just stunning bits of kit. And there is OSG alongside and coming through as well. And Giancarlo and Giovanni have gone through. And there's Lucas Oil's outer limit, so they've dropped back as well, and we're on board with the Italian pairing. And there is Keaton, who we didn't have at the last round, but very pleased to see them racing here again. And Supersport is building up to a great battle as well. Vegan J and Charles William Hawkes have still got the lead. Bootsy Bullet are now starting to gain a little bit of ground as well. Drew Langton and Jan Falkowski in the Fabio Bootsy designed boat. And there is Sirex, all over the place as he skips over the waves.
Now he's done some engine changes here. He's actually added superchargers to his boat, so he's just learning a new setup as well.
Two British entered boats almost side by side, Bootsy Bullet 3 and also Sunseeker and Rossioli Hotels Roma, the Supersport class championship points leader, and the Chaldron built boat, which has been going so well this year for them. And on board with the Sunseeker Challenger boys, and still pushing through the FBT powertrain and engine package, new for Sunseeker this year. They're still different style of hull, and there we see some fast-paced racing. OSG just ahead of King of Shaves and Lucas Oil's outer limits, who are just about nose by nose. And these guys will have really enjoyed this run around the island today. And we're on board with King of Shaves. Looking ahead, you see the Roosters coming up, and that will be from OSG.
This is amazing close racing. This is literally going to be a dash for the line as they just finish this circuit of the island.
And it shows the trust and the sportsmanship that these guys have got between them, the fact that they can race so close, and often closer than this as well. And now they're starting to shoot towards the checkered flag. ExtremeBoat.com, Jackie Hunt and Mike Shelton also looking to make up ground in the Supersport class, and Rossioli Hotels Roma. What can they do here this weekend in the final stages of this race? They didn't get the best of starts, and it's OSG, Lucas Oil's outer limits, and King of Shaves just behind them. But look at the acceleration of that fountain boat as they head towards the finish line. This is incredible. Lucas Oil's outer limits were just a nose ahead, I think. King of Shaves just there, and OSG behind them. But a fantastic finish as they cross the line. What unbelievable stuff for the thousands of spectators watching that, Shelley.
Fantastic racing.
Well, Lucas Oil's outer limits finally get their first Powerboat P1 victory, whilst the King of Shaves are defeated for the first time since their debut in Naples. And the Supersport class gave us yet another brilliant race with changes in the order most of the way through, but ExtremeBoat.com win with a very close finish.